Damon Martin MMA fighting here with Belal Muhammad. And Belal, obviously, last week it was a huge opportunity for you. Sadly, it ended in kind of a tragic set of circumstances with the Eyepoke and the no decision. Before we get into anything else regarding the fight, how are you feeling? How is the eye?
It's getting better. Vision's coming back. Just a little swelling and still got stitches. Had to get them underneath the eyelid, so it's uncomfortable, but I'll get through it.
All right, is the vision okay?
Yeah. Thankfully, it's like at first I couldn't see anything, but then it came back, and they said that there's no retinal damage or nothing to the cornea. So hopefully once it heals, I'm gonna get it rechecked again, and hopefully everything will be good again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's most important because obviously we know eye pokes can do some serious damage. I mean, we saw obviously Michael Bisping, a guy I have so much respect for. I mean, his career was altered forever because of eye pokes and things like that, eye damage he took. So yeah, so you have to be careful with something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like even in training or anything like that, like I don't even train with anybody who like literally puts their fingers out. Like if you mess up once in practice or anything like that, I'm not training with you ever again just because that type of thing, like it could literally end your career. And I'm like, that could have literally been my last fight ever. Like you go into every fight with the mentality that this could be your last fight, but like you would never want it to end like that with just like a freak injury where you can't fight ever again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll get back to the eye poke in a second. Let's talk about the fight itself because obviously you had a lot of confidence going in. You know, from media day, it sounded like you were very ready to go. You were excited for this moment. Obviously, the opportunity to fight a high ranked guy like Leon Edwards. This is why you wanted that opportunity. Kind of give me your thoughts on before the eye poke, how the fight was going for you.
Yeah, honestly, where I felt really good going in there. I felt confident. I knew I belonged in there, but it was like one of those where I didn't even really get started. It was we went in there with the game plan, the mindset of all right, this guy's been out for 2 years. Let's see what he brings. He's obviously gonna come out hard this first round. So be smart. Where my last fight, I literally fought 3 weeks ago, and I that was more of a pressure fight. So I was like, got into Lima's face right away. With this fight, we're like, we know that he saw that last fight, so he's gonna be expecting that. So be smarter, lay back a little bit. Let's see what he brings, and then we'll start picking it up. Second, third, fourth, fifth round. But let's see how he comes out the first round because he's been out for a while, so he's probably gonna come out hard. And I mean, everything happened the way we expected. He came out hard the first round. Caught me with a head kick, but nothing really crazy. But then the two things where I was very surprised were he shot twice on me, and I reversed him very easily, and I controlled the clinch very easily. So from there, like after that first round, I was more confident that I would be able to control the clinch styles. And when I decided to start wrestling, I felt like I was going to be able to control it from there. But yeah, that was the thing, right? You got all these people. Oh man, he like looked amazing the first round. Oh, this was going to be a crazy, easy fight. I'm like, bro, it's a 5 round fight, and you've seen guys where they gassed in 5 round fights before, where they come out super hard in their first 5 round fights. You saw it with Aljamain where he came out super hard, even in his fight against Jan, where it was like nonstop action, nonstop pressure, and then the third, fourth, fifth round he gassed out. So for us as a team, we wanted to be smarter, take it more slower, and then usually even me as a fighter, I pick up reads and then I adjust. I'm a big adjusting fighter. So I've lost a million first rounds in my career, and I've always come back second, third, fourth, and fifth round. So I wasn't worried about the losing that first round, but people just could think whatever they think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a conditioning fighter. You kind of wear on guys and beat them down round over round. It's almost like you're built for 5 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was, man. That's what's so heartbreaking because I was like so excited for this fifth round for a 5 round fight, just to show that I belong in main events. And I knew it was going to be, once it got down to that point, it was going to be an awesome fight, and that's when I was going to really take over.
Yeah. So now in the first round, he got you with an eye poke, and obviously we heard the referee warn him about that because he was kind of reaching at you with his hands extended, his fingers extended. Sadly, that is kind of a norm in MMA for a lot of fighters. Leon's not alone in that. When he caught you with the eye poke, I can't remember. I didn't remember to see it in the fight. Which eye did he catch you in the first time? Was it the same eye?
Yeah, it was the same eye. But that was the thing too. In the back, even before when we had the referees meeting, we literally told Herb Dean, we brought it out to him, like, hey, he puts his hand out a lot, he extends it a lot. I'm gonna be moving in, and trying to pressure him a lot. So please watch out for his extended fingers. And Herb's like, yeah, if he puts his fingers out like this, I'll tell him. I'll tell him. And like, we literally warned him of that because we knew that's what he was gonna do. We know that he likes to extend his hands like that John Jones type style, and we knew that I needed to get in on him. So like we were expecting that. We trained for him extending his hand, but we did never train for a eye poke.
Yeah. Now, walk me through the actual eye poke because it obviously happened early in the second round, and it was pretty bad. I mean, you obviously screamed out in pain, and for anyone that's never been eye poked, I'm not a fighter, but even when I did grappling, I got eye poked one time, and it hurts. It sucks real bad. Like it literally feels like you're being blinded, and it's like the most uncomfortable sensation. Like you literally can't open your own eye. It's bizarre. You can't will yourself to open your eye, but can you kind of give me a sense of like how you were feeling in that moment?
Man, honestly, literally, I thought I was blind. I thought I was like, I was like moving my eye around. When you're trying to move your eye around, and I literally couldn't see nothing but black. And I tried to close my other eye, and just like hope I could see something, and I couldn't see absolutely nothing. Um, and then like literally, it was more so from there. It was like I knew the fight was gonna be over, and like that's honestly what broke my heart the most. Uh, because like literally, like that's where you work your whole career for to get to that moment, and my life literally could have changed with that fight. I could have beat him, and we could have been fighting for a title next. Like that's life changing. That was a life changing moment for me and my family, and a lot of things could have changed, and like it literally all was just like snatched away with a freaking eye poke, and I was like I didn't really, I wasn't really overly thinking about, man, what the fudge is the matter with my eye? Like I don't care, but it was just like I knew the fight was gonna be over, and that's literally like what like shattered my dreams type thing.
Yeah, no, totally understandable. I'm curious how long after the fight, because obviously you couldn't even open your eye, and we saw the damage just in like when the doctor was looking at you on the TV, we could see the eye was pretty bad. At what point were you able to finally like open your eye again? Was it the hospital, I assume?
Yeah, like I wasn't able to do it myself. We went in the back, and then the UFC doctor like used his finger to like try to lift up the lid a little bit, and then like I was able to see light coming from the lid. Um, but then from there on, we went to the hospital, and then probably like after a couple hours, like it literally would probably I was able to open it up a little bit, and then that's when they had to like dilate him and just make sure like the retina and everything was okay. And then they were able to see that, and thankfully there was no retinal damage. Um, we just had to get like stitches underneath the eyelid part, but yeah, it was like it literally took 2 hours for me to finally take like a breath of relief that I was able to see again.
Jeez, and you said it's a scratch cornea, but nothing beyond that.
Yeah, nothing, no eyeball damage like that. No.
Yeah. So now in the fight, obviously, the referee had warned him about the eye pokes earlier, and obviously we saw what happened in the first round. Ultimately, they declared it a no decision. I know you wanted to beat Leon Edwards. You didn't want to win by disqualification, but ultimately they ruled it a no contest. But now you've had a couple days to like think about it, maybe rewatch the fight, and just kind of see the reaction. Do you believe the referee made the right call? Do you believe no contest was the right call?
I mean, for me as a fighter, yeah, I don't want to win that way. I don't want to win that fight that way. But me as a competitor now, knowing that you expect someone to give you the respect, like, all right, I followed you, so I'm gonna give you a rematch, and uh, like you're the only guy that stepped up 3 weeks notice at your last fight. You came, you fought, you made weight as a professional, and I made the mistake. Like the fact that he's acting like I don't deserve the rematch, and I'm looking past him and stuff like that. Now I wish that they would have given him a DQ just so I would be the one in charge of the rematch. And I would be like, all right, well, I'll give you the rematch now. It was a DQ. I don't want it that way. So let's do it. Let's hit a rematch right now.
Yeah.
Like I would be like that. That's the only reason why now I would want him to get DQ'd. Just the way it all turned out afterward.
Yeah. So now immediately after the fight, he apologized profusely. And listen, I don't think Leon's a dirty fighter. I think obviously we have a big problem with eye pokes in this sport, and I don't necessarily think everyone who eye pokes someone is a dirty fighter. But he apologized profusely afterwards, and again, that's the right thing to do. But then, yeah, at the post fight, he said, I'm not interested in a rematch. I want a title shot. Now we know the announcement was made last night. They're going to do Masvidal Usman 2 in April. So we know he's not getting the next title shot, maybe, down the road somewhere. But kind of give me your reaction to like when you heard that part of it. Like, obviously, the apology is what you're supposed to do, but then did he just kind of move beyond the rematch and said, I want a title shot? Like, when you first heard that, what was your reaction?
Man, I was like seeing red. I was like pissed. That's honestly what like pissed me off the most, just because he was like looking past it, not worried about it. At that moment, he was like felt bad, but then like he looked past. Like I could have been sitting there in the hospital blind, and my career could have been over, and he wasn't even thinking about it. Um, but yeah, that like he's sitting there going on like he was doing like a press tour, like he freaking won the fight, and I'm back. I need the title fight, acting like that's the thing. He thinks like he's owed all this stuff, and that's why I feel people like do not like him. But like I said, he's the one who literally committed the foul. He's the one who was warned, and he's the one who messed up. So like out of like man to man, out of respect, if you're a freaking real fighter, like you would be like, well, I messed up. Let me own up to it. Here, I'll give you your rematch. If, like you said, Dana White literally said, if he beats me, he gets the title shot. Well, the title is already on the line with somebody else, so you obviously need a fight unless you're going to sit out another 600 days. Uh, but like this fight literally makes the most sense because we literally had a fight. It was unfinished business. Dana said, you win, you get the title shot. So why wouldn't you want to take this fight? You want to sit there and train for somebody else, look at somebody else. But this fight honestly makes the most sense if you're really thinking about it. And for me, like I said, I look at stuff realistically, and I'm not sitting there trying to sit there and blow my own horn or anything like that, where I feel like I deserve this or I deserve that. Obviously, before this week happened, obviously I wasn't in the spot to fight Leon Edwards or to be in that fight a top five guy. But I stepped up. I took the fight on 3 weeks notice. Nobody else was willing to step up and fight a main event, a 5-round fight, train after coming off a fight. I did all of that. I'm the one who did that. So I earned this spot. I earned this rematch just because I was literally the only one that stepped up, and it was like taken out of my hands from a foul that he committed.
Yeah. Now I know the answer to this, Bilal, before I even ask the question, but I'm going to ask the question anyways. Before the fight, there was professional rivalry between you two. Obviously, you both wanted to win, but there was no like real bad blood. You didn't have any issue with Leon, and he didn't really have any issue with you. It was just a competitive thing. But now, considering the way this has happened, can I imagine your opinion of Leon has changed?
Yeah, exactly. People were telling me before, like, there's bad blood. Was there bad blood? Why did you guys get in each other's face that way? I'm like, it's a fight. So I'm not right away. I'm gonna have a different mindset of somebody until after the fight. Obviously, there's fighter respect, but like I'm gonna fight the guy tomorrow. I'm gonna fight the guy right now. So like, I'm not gonna sit there and have to shake his hand or be super friendly with him. Like, you got to get yourself in your own mindset. And that was me getting in my mindset. Like, yo, we're about to fight tomorrow. So like, I had no ill will against him before that, but now, yeah, like you said, I do now. Just his whole attitude and the way he's acting. Literally, honestly, just I'm a hard guy to get mad. Uh, but like he irritated me, and he's like pissing me off with just the way he's acting and the way he's like, oh, I won the first round, so we know how the fight was gonna go. I'm like, there's 5 rounds in a fight, you moron. Uh, I literally pick up as the fight goes on. So like the fact that he's talking like that's just pissing me off the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, again, you can hold out hope for a title shot. I think we all understand that. But now, as we said, literally within the last 24 hours, a title fight has been booked. I know that Wonder Boy is still dealing with an injury. I don't think he can come back before at least May. And I'm not even going to approach Colby Covington because, well, that's a whole other subject. But but in terms of like beyond the eye poke, in a way, now that the title fight is booked, like it just feels like this makes sense, right? Like beyond the iPod, like just in terms of like unfinished business, the hope of a title shot right now is gone. And obviously you share a manager with the champion Kamaru Usman. I can't imagine, even if Usman goes out there and demolishes George Masvidal in the first round, he's going to fight again within 6 months. It's just normal. Champions don't fight generally that quickly, and that's already his second fight this year. So you got to imagine Usman's not going to fight again for a while after fighting Masvidal. So it seems like it just doesn't seem like there'd be another option out there for him beyond the eye poke.
Exactly. Like Usman literally fought. What is it gonna be, like his fourth fight in or fifth fight in 2 years? So like he's gonna fight this fight. This is gonna be a big payday for him. Obviously, he's gonna want. This is a quick turnaround for him as well. So he's gonna want to take this one and then probably spend time with his family. So like, what's your next move? Or you're literally gonna wait on the sidelines again and hope that something happens, or like I said, you're gonna sit there and call out Kobe. Kobe's gonna may earn himself a title fight even before you, just with the way he talks. And like you don't really talk a lot, or you're not good at talking. So like literally out of everybody, this fight makes the most sense for you at this moment. Like I said, before this, there was no storyline or anything that made me get this fight. But like I said, I stepped up. I took the fight on short notice, opportunity knocked, and now it literally makes sense. Like it was a no contest. It was unfinished business. There was no ending to the fight. So now it makes the most sense out of everything.
Yeah. Now, obviously, your health is paramount. That's what matters more than anything, your eye and everything. But did your doctors give you any kind of timeline in terms of when you may be able to fight again, like a roundabout time?
They just told me after I gotta get the stitches out within a week at the bottom of my eyelid, and then once I do that, I go get checked out again, and then hopefully I'll get cleared to start training again. But yeah, like I said, like for me, this was 3 back-to-back camps, because I had a camp for Lima, then I had COVID, so the fight got canceled. Then I had to go right back into camp again for Lima, and then right into this fight. So it was like one of those where I just had 3 back-to-back camps, and I'm expecting myself to be tired, but right now, like I said, I'm like fuming, and like I didn't get an ending to the fight. I didn't get a there was like I have a bad taste in my mouth because there was no result of the fight. So like now I'm like, I feel like I didn't fight, and I feel like I need a fight. I feel like I need that energy again. I need that fight again. So it's like I want to get right back into the gym.
Absolutely understandable. And like I said, given the timeline of the title fight and everything, this one makes a lot of sense. There's going to be a lot of big cards coming up in May and June. Seems like a perfect time to rebook this one. And I imagine you want another main event, right? Like you want a 5-rounder with him.
Yeah, exactly. I want a 5-round fight. I felt like I showed that I could do a 5-round fight. I felt like media wise, where I showed I belonged in there. The spotlight wasn't too much for me. I did all my media obligations. I was energetic all week, and I showed that I literally gained probably like 50,000 followers this week from being a main event. He probably gained like 5. So I showed that there's people that wanted to watch me and people that were interested in seeing me. So I'm hoping that the UFC pushed me back in that spotlight again.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last thing, I'll close out on this because obviously everyone's going to see this. I'm sure it's going to get out there to a lot of people, Leon Edwards included. So if Leon Edwards is watching this, listening to this, he's looking for you. What is the message you have for Leon Edwards?
My message to him is, man to man, if you're happy with that result, then you shouldn't call yourself a fighter. You shouldn't call yourself a contender. You shouldn't call yourself a champion. Man to man, if you're happy with that result, then you should, like, honestly, you should just hang up your gloves. No real fighter, no true fighter would want a fight to end like that. And no true fighter would let that happen. You committed the foul. You owe me a rematch. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Well, Belal, I agree. I think this is a rematch that needs to happen. I really do hope it happens. It was an unfortunate ending because the fight was just really getting started, and obviously we were all excited to watch it. So again, first and foremost, let your eye heal it, man. I'm glad it's doing okay because that's more important than any fight. But obviously, I agree. I think the rematch should happen. Hopefully, it will happen. And now that we know the title fight is booked, I don't really see another option.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm hoping that all these people start thinking like you. But yeah, I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Absolutely, Belal. We will talk soon, okay?
Have a good one, bro.
All right, bye-bye.